Hello everyone. So welcome to the second lecture of Indian Contract Act. You must have already seen the first lecture of Indian Contract Act where we have covered the basics like what is Indian Contract Act and what is the significance, importance, need of the legislation, and in nutshell we have seen how are we going to cover this particular act of 75 sections. So in this second lecture we are going to discuss the interpretation clause. As I have told you that these 10 terms are the most important terms to understand, and a very clear and conceptual understanding of all the terms is necessary. So basically interpretation clause is also known as definition clause, and these are the 10 definitions or 10 terms which would be defined, and that is the basic or that is the foundation of understanding of this contract act or contract law. Since we are learning contract law, we won't start with A, B, C, D series of definitions, but we will directly start with section 2H, which talks about contract. Section 2H of Indian Contract Act defines what is a contract. It is a very simple definition, but we will have to decipher and derive the formula for contract. How? You will see in this video. So watch the video till end so that we have a correct understanding of what contract is. An agreement enforceable by law is a contract. So basically a contract is a legally enforceable agreement. So we can write a formula for contract as agreement plus legal enforceability. Now this legal enforceability has been discussed, defined or enumerated or elaborated in section 10 of the act. Section 10 chapter 2 of this act talks about what agreements are contracts. So here you will understand that each and every agreement won't be a contract. Only those agreements that are legally enforceable as per section 10 would be contracts. So we will discuss this in detail when we see section 10 or when we learn section 10. But as of now you understand that contract is an agreement which is legally enforceable. So all agreements won't be contract. Only the agreements which are legally enforceable would be contracts. So now that we have understood a contract is an agreement which is legally enforceable, and I told you that legal enforceability is in section 10. So now we have to learn or decipher what is an agreement. Section 2E of the act talks about agreement. Every promise and every set of promises forming consideration for each other is an agreement. So basically an agreement is a promise and set of promises. So basically when we try to decipher agreement, it can be written as promise and or set of promises plus consideration. So a promise and a consideration or set of promises and consideration will form an agreement. So now we deciphered the formula for contract as legally enforceable agreement. We deciphered the formula for agreement as promise plus consideration. Now we have to understand promise. Let me tell you, consideration is defined in section 2D, but as of now we are not going to go into consideration unless we complete the deciphering of formula of a contract. Now what is a promise? Section 2B of the act is talking about promise and is also talking about acceptance. So section B defines promise as well as acceptance. When a person to whom a proposal is made signifies his assent thereto, the proposal is said to be accepted. A proposal when accepted becomes a promise. So basically you will understand that a promise is an accepted proposal, and proposal that has to be accepted. That is the reason I told you that section 2B is defining promise as well as acceptance. So promise is accepted proposal, or you can say promise is equal to proposal plus acceptance. An agreement was promise plus consideration. So now my formula for agreement is proposal plus acceptance plus consideration. So see, we had started with section 2H which was defining contract. From that we came to section 2E which is talking about agreement. From that we came to section 2B which is talking about promise and acceptance. And now we have a formula for an agreement which is saying that proposal plus acceptance plus consideration is an agreement. Now what would be the whole deciphering of contract definition? So now you understand that contract was agreement which is legally enforceable. So section 10 we'll discuss later. Then agreement I told you, promise plus consideration. Again consideration I will discuss later. So promise is proposal plus acceptance. So now anything can be said to be a contract when there was a proposal which was accepted with a consideration and legal enforceability. So formula for contract, always remember, etch it into your mind so that you are able to write the answers beautifully and understand the concept, apply the concept, because contract law is the basic law and it is a crucial one. So you have to have a proper correct concept clearing understanding. So contract is a proposal plus acceptance plus consideration plus legal enforceability. So this was all about what is a contract. Now we have got the terms like proposal, we have got acceptance, we have got consideration. So we'll have to understand what does proposal mean. We have to understand what is acceptance and what is consideration and all those things. So section 2A is talking about proposal. So proposal is basically when one person signifies to another his willingness to do or abstain from doing anything with a view to obtaining the assent of that other to such act or abstinence, he is said to make a proposal. Always remember that we have derived this Indian Contract Act, or our whole Contract Act is based on English law. So we are always going to have the references that are coming from English law. In India or in Indian law, we call it as a proposal, but in English law, it is known as a offer. So this proposal and offer would be the terms which would be used interchangeably. These are the synonymous terms, and don't get confused if I talk about offer. Offer is going to mean proposal and proposal is going to mean offer. So basically proposal and offer are one and the same things. In Indian law it is proposal, in English law it is offer. So understand what is a proposal. What I want you to do is, I want you to have bare act in hands from our next lecture. So what we can do is, with help of the bare act and relying on the bare act, I will explain you each and every concept. So till I upload the next lecture, see to it that you arrange a bare act for your own copy of your bare act with you. It should be on actual copy and not online one, that is recommended. And from next lecture we will start discussing proposal or acceptance or consideration and all those things in a very concise, real life examples, interesting examples and landmark case laws. So don't miss the lectures, and if you have not subscribed to the channel yet, do subscribe to the channel, share your feedback in the comment section and like and share with your friends who may be interested in contract law. Thank you.